Chapter 18, Joe's Perspective, and it's still Wednesday. When I was a little kid, if I fell down and skinned my knee, my mom would kiss it to make it better. I thought it was magic, but I'm not a little kid, and I don't believe in magic anymore. I decided to let my mom drive me to school, but we don't talk. At least I don't. Dad won't be getting in until late tonight, she tells me. You won't see him till tomorrow morning. I'm not in a hurry. Not that I don't miss my dad when he's on the road. I do. Sometimes we watch sports together and act like guys, burping and scratching and stuff. But it's been a while since we did that. Mom still hasn't said anything, but I'm positive I'm right about the reason he's coming home early. I know the drill. She's going to make us have a family meeting. I'll sit there saying nothing. My dad will tell me to man up, and when it's finally over, nothing will have changed. Mom will still be the lunch monitor. Dylan Samreen will still be giving me a hard time about it, and 5th grade will still suck just as much as it did before. Hey, Pud, Nut Putty, Dylan says as I walk into room 506. He's standing by the door like he's been waiting for me. Lucy Mulligan giggles, which pretty much guarantees that the dumb joke will be following me around for a while. The funny thing about Lucy is that she and I used to be friends. We went to the same nursery school when we were little, and sometimes after school we'd play together. She even had a sleepover at my house once when her mom and dad had to go out of town for a funeral. She wet the bed and cried. My mother put the dirty sheets in the washing machine, and Lucy made me promise that I wouldn't tell anybody at school about it. I never did. Dylan is about to say something else, but his dark eyes slide to the left, and there's that evil sparkle I know so well. I turn around to see what he's looking at. Ravi has just arrived with his green backpack and ironed blue jeans. For some reason, he's looking especially shrimpy today. His shoulders only come up to my belly button, which means I can actually look down and see the top of his head. He is wearing the whitest sneakers I've ever seen in my life, and he's holding a square metal box with flowers painted on it. What's in the box? Dylan asks him. Cookies, he says, for Mrs. Beam. I look at Ravi in his weird flat clothes, holding his flowery little box of cookies, and wonder if he realizes he's a zebra. Boys and girls, please take your seats, Mrs. Beam calls from the front of the classroom. Ravi walks up to her and hands her the box. My mother has asked me to bring these to you, he says. They're Indian cookies. How sweet! Indian cookies? Ravi nods. Homemade, he says. When Ravi isn't looking, Dylan puts his fingers down his throat and makes a gagging sound. Lucy Mulligan giggles. Sometimes I wish they'd just run off together and get married and put us all out of our misery. Please tell your mother thank you for the cookies, Ravi, says Mrs. Beam. I'll be sure to enjoy one tonight at home after dinner. Ravi turns and starts walking back to his desk. He looks happy, but I notice he's staring at my feet. He probably thinks I'm going to try to trip him. I wonder if he thinks I'm the one who swiped his mechanical pencils, too. After she finishes taking the roll call, Mrs. Beam tells us to do silent reading until it's time to go to gym. I pull out my book and turn to the place where I left off reading last night. I've only got a few more chapters to go, and I want to know how the story turns out. Dylan asks if he can go get a drink of water, and I can tell he's up to something. Sure enough, on the way back he tosses a folded-up piece of paper on my desk. I open it up, and there's a drawing of a bunch of people. Almost everyone is wearing a t-shirt that says I'm with stupid on it, and under that an arrow pointing to the left. There are only two exceptions. One is a really tall boy wearing giant shoes that look like boats. I'm stupid, it says on his shirt. Next to him is a woman in a striped apron holding a dirty diaper with a bunch of flies buzzing around it. Her shirt says I'm stupid's mommy. Another day, off to another sucky start.